Hey, what's going on, guys? So, sound deadening, does it work? Is it going to make a difference? Is it worth the money? Today, we're going to figure that out. So, let me get y'all set up in the side by side, and we'll do some sound meter readings before and after, and I'll give you a quick little walkthrough of the process of installing sound deadening. So, stick around, guys. This is going to be a good
All right,
video.
guys, I got it set up. We're going to do some decibel readings at idle, driving down the road. We'll see how loud these machines actually are, because that's my biggest complaint is it's very loud inside the cab. So just sitting here, the meter's fluctuating quite a bit. So I don't know, maybe take it with a grain of salt, but I know that when I crank it up, it seems to level out. So here we go. So it looks like we're about 74 at idle. So I'm going to ride around. We'll just get a couple of readings at different speeds. And this is before I do all the sound deadening, trying to get a bass reading. So here we go. So this is low gear. Just gonna ease down the driveway. Going about 10 miles an hour right now. We're hanging right around 80. It's 3,700 RPM. Hopefully the audio's not too bad. Y'all can hear me talking. About 3,700 RPM, 15 mile an hour, and it looks like it's about low 80s. Swap it to high gear, and we're going to make a run down the road. So at about 4,800 RPM, looks like we're about 83 decibels. RPMs, and it's looking like we were at about 91 decibels. would have just thought for what these HVAC machines cost, they would have done a little more R&D and made the cab a little more quieter. So that's kind of what all this is. I've seen a bunch of people talking about it on Facebook, groups and things, and everybody's like, sound deadening, it makes a huge difference. And then you got that one guy that's like, nah, I don't think it made that much of a difference. So, since I see so much conflicting information, I wanted to do a little test, and I'm gonna, just to get some accurate readings. I wanted some data to back up everybody's claims. Now, for all the materials that I bought for this sound deadening machine, I mean, it may be probably $110. It's not that much. I don't even think it's really that much. So, if I could knock off 10 decibels at wide open throttle, I mean, I would think that, to me, that would be a huge gain. I mean, so that's kind of my goal. I don't know if we're gonna make it. I'm not gonna put too much into trying to quiet the machine down. I've got some sound deadening material I'm gonna put on, and then I also have some stall mats that I'm gonna cut out and put as a bed mount, inside the cab, or a bed mat, and then floor mats inside the cab. So I'm hoping that that'll be enough to get the noise level down to a little bit. So, like I said, this is just the beginning. I needed a base reading, so I'm hoping that after I get done, it'll be a completely different machine. It would be nice. But my only other complaint with the CFMOTO is it does have a ton of body roll, and high speeds on the road, things like that. It gets a little sketchy sometimes. You've got to pay attention, slow down for the curves, and it is a utility side by side. It's not a sport side by side. I've had both, but I will say that this CFMOTO seems to have way more body roll than my Can-Am Defender had. But the Can-Am Defender wasn't an enclosed cab. It wasn't an HVAC model, so there's a lot of weight up top that will affect that. So I believe that for what you get, and for what you do, it's not meant to to be a race buggy. Like it's a UTV, a utility vehicle, so it's meant for trails and things like that. And down the trails and everything, it's not that bad. If you go down, if you're going down a trail and you get to a tight spot, I have already, the body roll has made me hit my top on a tree or something like that. But sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, it's a side by side. You're gonna break it, you're gonna crash it, you're gonna constantly be working on it. I mean, that's just side by sides in general. But anyway, guys, I just pulled up back at the shop. Like I said, that was my initial readings. We're gonna get in here and start doing some sound deadening now. I got y'all a nice little time lapse here. I'm gonna explain what I'm doing. So I'm removing the front seats, and what I was explaining there was that on the driver's seat, it pops up from the front, so you have to pull up on the front of the seat, and then you can slide it out of the little hinge on the back. And on the passenger seat, you have to do the opposite. You got to pull up on the back of the seat and then slide it toward the rear seat. And then to take out the seat frame for the driver's side, I ended up having to take out 2 bolts on the back and then slide the seat frame the opposite way and then get the front bolts. So the armrest is pretty simple. I think it was an Allen screw. And you just take it loose, pull it out, no big deal. So I did want to mention that on the back seat on the passenger side, I ended up I wasn't quite sure how to get that off and get it out of the way, but I ended up having to pull the back glass out of the machine, and it wasn't too bad. It was 8 bolts. You take the 8 bolts around the frame, and you can just pull it straight out. And there's actually 2 bolts holding the backrest to the back of the cab. So you pull the 2 bolts out, then you can pop that right off. So there was some Torx screws holding the back carpeted panel on. I ended up taking them out, and I believe the little voltage regulator above the battery, instead of taking it off and trying to fish it through, I ended up just cutting the little half-inch strip of carpet there. That way I could just pull it out a little easier. And I ended up taking the seatbelts loose and just fishing them back through the holes in the carpet panel back there. So now that I got that off, I'm gonna just kind of do it quick and dirty. I'm not gonna put much love into it. Just cut it out, the sound deadening the best you can, and make sure that you roll it on fairly firm. This sound deadening is like a pressure adhesive, so the more pressure you put and the more you roll over it, the better it'll stick. And also, you need to make sure that your material that you're sticking it to is rather clean. My side by side was new, so I didn't worry too much about wiping it down with alcohol or anything like that. But if you've got a pretty dirty side by side, I would definitely give it a good wipe, and like I said, make sure you apply a lot of pressure uh, to make sure that it adheres good to the surface. So yeah. Anyway, guys, you get the picture. So I'm gonna work on getting this done, and I'll come back to y'all when I got some more put on. All right, guys. I got a little update for y'all. This is taking about, I don't know, 2.5 hours. I was originally gonna put some sound deadening on the back sides of these, but I don't think it's gonna stick because there's raised edges. So for now, I think I'm gonna leave it like this and test it, see how much of a difference it made, and then I may come back and put sound deadening over the top of these, and then maybe try to find some form of a carpet to cover this up. So anyway, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna reverse the process and put everything back together, and we'll go for a ride and see how it does. All right, guys, so I got everything back together, and we're gonna do our test. The meter's still being a little weird. It's brand new. I don't know what the deal is, but we're gonna see what our final numbers are and see if it made any difference. So this is low gear. Yeah. So this is low gear, about 3,700, 3,200. We're looking at, it's like 85, 82 decibels. I think 91 was as high as we got last time. I didn't sound deaden as much as I wanted to, but for the time that I had, I sound deadened what I could. So we'll see how it goes. It's about 4,500 RPMs. Looks like it's about 82. So we'll go back to high gear and go down the road. About 6,000 RPMs. Looks like it's about 89. About 6,000 again. Looks like it's see if I can rotate this or something. It's got a back flare, I can't see. So that's 6,000 RPM. It's like it's about 91, 92. So I don't believe it made any difference. I think that I'm gonna go back and add some sound deadening underneath the seat. And if that doesn't make any difference, I'm gonna call it a fail, and it just is what it is. So anyway, guys, probably gonna head back to the shop and pull the bottom seats back out. I'm gonna add what I can and still try to keep it hidden. So anyway, I'll catch y'all when I get back to the shop and get started. Alright, so I'm back at the shop. I've got the bottom seats pulled out. And I believe what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna pull these out. And I think I'm just going to go inside here. I'm trying to keep it hidden so you can't see it too much. You know, with the seats in, just trying to make it look presentable. And I'm sure, like, I could find something and maybe glue in here, but then you got the issue of if the glue doesn't hold, then it's a mess to get out. So I think that I'm going to do these trays, the little seat bottoms, and I'm going to call it quits. You know, it is what it is. At the bare minimum, this should help with heat. So even if it doesn't knock any sound off, it'll definitely help with the heat coming in the cab. So, you know, that'll make the air conditioner a little better. So anyway, yeah, let me knock this out and we'll go for another ride. Took these seat panels off and added some on top of them. I believe that You shouldn't be able to see it too much. You may see a little bit right here. I think I went a little too far, but this is about as much as I'm going to add, and I believe that, you know, if this doesn't make a difference, then the only other option you would have would be putting something down inside on the inside of this panel or doing the outside, and I'm not willing to do this. I'm trying to keep this hidden, so I believe that this is as far as I'm going to take it. So let me get these seats thrown back in, and we'll go for another ride and see what the decibel meter says. Alright, I got everything back together. We're going to go for a ride and see what the decibel meter says. Alright, I got everything back together. We're going to go for a ride and see what the decibel meter says. Start out low here just like last time. Start out low here just like last time. So this is about 3,200. Looks like we're about 79, about 3,200. Well, it looks like it's about 80. Looks like we're about 79, 78. Seat belt in. Well, it looks like it's about 80. Bypass this guy for sure. Got the seat belt in. Bypass this guy for sure. That's why. No, it's the wrong one. That's why. Oops. Try this again. So, plug in. This is about 4,000 RPMs. So, plug in. This is about 4,000 RPMs. 80, 81. We're about 80, 81. We're about 83 to 85 at 5,000 RPM. We're about 83 to 85 at 5,000 RPM. Swap to high gear now. Swap to high gear now. Got about 5,000. Got about 5,000. Looking at about 85 decibels. Looking at about 85 decibels. About 6,000 RPMs, we're at like 89. It's about 6,000 RPMs, we're at like 89. We're looking at 91 decibels. Wide open throttle, I think I hit about 60. So we're looking at 91
See,
I mean, but it
does seem like
it is a little bit quieter in here.
See,
I don't think it made a huge difference, but
like
it is a little bit. I think
quieter
it
in
definitely
here.
has made it quieter. I don't think it made a huge difference, but I think it definitely has made it quieter. And metal back, I believe that U10 sound deadening should definitely make metal back heat reflect. So I should definitely help keep that cooler. So heat reflect. So I should definitely. To me, that by itself has made it worth the time. I think I have. To me, if I went back to my Amazon, I think I had like $65 in material. I used my pocket knife to cut it. I didn't even go get a razor. $65 in material. I used my pocket knife to just cut it. I didn't even go get a razor or anything like that. And some basic tools, just a little bit of knowledge. And just take your time. I think this whole little project here took me about 5 hours from start to finish, and project here obviously messing around with cameras and 5 hours from start to finish. That was the best view. Obviously messing around with cameras, capture at least all the teardown. I know I found the best view I could do, to capture record at least all that teardown, but I didn't feel like it was necessary. It's the same thing, putting that together, but I didn't feel like it was necessary. It's the same. Overall, I think I'm happy with it. I'll look back in my other video and see. I think I'm happy with what my decimal readings was before my other video and see. But I believe that it definitely made a small difference. I'm gonna go on a limb and say, but I believe 3 decibels made a small difference. I'm gonna go on a limb and say it took very 3 decibels much sound out, but it definitely made a little difference. Especially, it really seems like it made a difference out of that. It definitely made a little difference. Especially, it really seems like it made a difference out of that idle and just creep. I think, now I hear more belt noise than I do engine noise, sometimes. I think, now I hear more. So I definitely made belt noise. I definitely think it made engine noise at idle, sometimes. So I definitely think it made a difference at idle. So yeah, guys, I believe for the little bit of time and money I got in this, when I do it again on another side by side, I believe that I would. I think time and money I got in this, when I do it again on another side by side, I believe that I would. I think it made and I like my AC, so anything I can do to help that out, I'm all for it. And I like my AC, so anything I can do to help that out, I'm all for it. But anyway, guys, I'll catch y'all back at the shop. I just wanted to give y'all a quick little walk around and show you the final product of on. But I'm pretty happy with it. You can't really see the sound deadening, so you can kind of, if you get down an angle, you can see it. But overall, it's pretty good. You can see it a little bit, through the carpet, that little back wall. But overall, I'm happy with it, and I want to say that I'm also happy with the CFMOTO for the most part. It's got its quirks, but this is probably one of the nicest side by sides I've had, especially fit and finish and style and everything. But anyway, there's a couple more things I'm gonna do. You can see it a little more on this side, and down behind the seat, but yeah, guys, so if you like this video, drop a like, comment. I'm just a redneck trying to have fun and make YouTube videos. So I wanted to go over the final numbers with y'all. So the sound level at 6,000 RPM before any of the sound deadening, we were looking at 91 decibels. And we were able to get that down to 89 decibels after all the sound deadening. So the sound deadening definitely makes a little bit of difference. Not as much as I would have liked, but at the end of the day, it's still a side by side. So I believe that's probably about as quiet as we're gonna get. I am gonna add some floor mats, and I'm hoping that will make a difference. But I'm not expecting too much. But at the end of the day,
it at least, helped with the heat. It should definitely help keep a little bit of the heat out. So, and when I do it again, yeah, I'm in at about $60 for material and a few hours of time. So, I'm happy with the results, I guess. If you like this video, subscribe and drop a thumbs up and keep looking because I got a lot of stuff in the pipeline. I'm eventually gonna bring out the drift car and start messing around with it. I've got a lot of parts to throw it in. I just don't have the time. I'm trying to get there. So just be on the lookout, guys. I got a lot of cool stuff coming up.